Looking up CPT codes is very easy using PitchStone Help. First, make sure you're on the search page. You can use our single search box to search for CPT codes two different ways. You can search for a specific code, or you can search by keyword. For example, type in a code and click search. We automatically recognize it's a CPT code and take you directly to that code's detail page. It's often the case, however, that we're looking at chart notes and we don't have the code in front of us. That's where keyword searching comes in. We can demonstrate searching by keyword by typing in a word such as phlebectomy. As you begin typing, we give you suggestions using our autocomplete feature. This can be very helpful for those tricky to spell words or instances where you can't quite read the provider's penmanship. Using these options, let's go ahead and search for our CPT codes. We'll include CPT Assistant Archives, see if there's any articles that can help us out, and we'll include our dictionary. At the top of our results is the pronunciation and definition. Below that, we have our matching CPT codes. And below that, we have our matching CPT Assistant articles. Let's take a closer look at this first code. Now we are on what we call the Code Details page. You have the code and its title. And below that, we have any CPT guidelines that are applicable. We then have an expanded lay description of the code for those of us that aren't physicians and could use a little help. Below this description, we have our maximum units of service. We also have our RVU table. We give you each individual component as well as the total calculated fee. And finally, on this first page, we have the payment indicators. Anywhere in our application where you see an underlined word, you can hover over it and we'll give you a tooltip that will pop up with additional information. Now let's scroll up and see the additional information available. This link here tells us that we have a local coverage determination. Here we can see that we've parsed out the codes of that policy and displayed them for you for your convenience. For example, these are the only ICD-9 codes that support medical necessity for the following CPT code. We also link you directly to that policy at CMS. By clicking on this link, you are taken directly to the policy at CMS where you can do further research. Going back to our application, we can scroll up and we'll notice that this grayed out link here indicates that there are no national coverage determinations. We do, however, have CCI edits. This is our CCI edits table. As you can see, there are no mutually exclusive codes. However, we do find that there is a long list of codes that are considered components of our code. And as we scroll down, we do notice that our code itself is a component of these two codes. It's always important to pay attention to these bundling issues when coding. We have additional cross-reference information available here, such as common procedures, common modifiers, common diagnosis codes. We have the taxonomy, which is a word we use to describe where the code fits into the greater code set. We can see our code here. The modifiers tab, this table is going to show you the most common modifiers CMS saw last year in terms of submissions and overall acceptance rate. Dictionary tab here is going to help you explore some of the words that were in the title or description. We have matching CPT assistant articles. And we have a history tab so you can see when the code was last changed and when it became effective. That is CPT code searching used in PitchStone Health.